Most people use Microsoft To Do like a simple checklist. They open it, add a few tasks, tick them off, and that's it. But if that's how you're using it, you're missing about 80% of what makes To Do so powerful. I've seen this over and over again in teams and professionals I've worked with. They think To Do is just a digital notepad for their tasks, when in reality it can be a complete daily planning hub that connects to your Outlook, OneNote planner, and even your Teams messages. Once you set it up properly, To Do becomes your command center for everything you need to get done, without switching between apps or losing track of what's next. I'm Leah David, and I've been helping professionals streamline their workflow with Microsoft 365 for several years now. And in this video, I'll show you the 5 biggest mistakes most people make in Microsoft To Do, and more importantly, how to fix them so you can finally use it the way it was designed to be used. So let's dive in with mistake number 1. Most people open Microsoft To Do, dump all their tasks into one long list, and call it a day. It feels organized at first, but a few days later, the list turns into a mess. Work tasks mix with personal errands, small reminders get buried under project deadlines, and soon you're scrolling endlessly trying to find what's actually important. That's because To Do isn't meant to be one single list. It's built around at least a little bit of structure that can simply be implemented. And here's how. Start by creating separate lists for your different areas of work and life. Click on New List in the bottom left of your sidebar. Name it something like work, projects, or personal tasks, or any other specific project, and hit Enter. If you click on the list title within the list, you can not only rename it, but you can even add a little emoji if you'd like, so you can spot your different lists faster. Next, if you want to keep things even cleaner, you can group related lists. For example, click Create a New Group in the bottom right of your left-hand sidebar and name it like Client, Marketing, or Personal, and drag the respective lists underneath the group. Now, instead of just having one chaotic list, you'll have clear sections that make sense at a glance. Even if it sounds and actually is pretty basic, setting up at least a bit of structure makes a huge difference in how structured, easy to use, and output-oriented your to-do list is. So if that first mistake felt familiar, you'll love the practical strategies inside my Microsoft 365 Productivity Masterclass linked below. It's filled with real-world best practices for To Do and other Microsoft tools you already use every day, so you can save time, reduce stress, and finally make consistent progress on what matters most. On to mistake number 2, which is something I see all the time. People create tons of custom lists in Microsoft To Do, like work, personal projects, clients, and so on. And then spend half their day jumping between them, trying to figure out what's actually important or due soon. It feels organized at first, but as the number of lists and groups grow, it becomes harder to see the full picture. You end up managing the lists instead of managing your tasks and actually doing them. And that's where most people go wrong. They create countless of individual lists, but they ignore smart lists. And that's a shame, because smart lists are where Microsoft To Do quietly does the heavy lifting for you. These built-in lists automatically gather tasks based on what's important, due, or assigned to you, so you don't have to chase them down across multiple lists or groups. You'll find them on the left sidebar at the top. My Day, Important, Blend, Assigned to Me, and Flagged Email and Tasks. If you don't see them, click your profile picture or initials in the top left, choose Settings, and scroll to Smart Lists and toggle them on. Here's what each one does. Important collects everything you've marked with the star icon, perfect for your high priority work. Blend shows all tasks with a due date, organized by day and week, giving you a timeline view of what's ahead. Assigned to Me pulls in all your tasks from Microsoft Planner or somewhere else, so you can track teamwork right inside To Do. Flagged Email syncs flagged Outlook messages, instantly turning them into tasks. And Tasks is the place where all your unassigned or standalone tasks live. The default list for quick captures or notes you add without specifying a custom list yet. And the best part is that you don't need to maintain any of this manually. Smart lists update automatically based on your existing tasks and activity. But the key here is that you set up and maintain your tasks properly, because what you see in your smart lists is only as good as the underlying tasks you put in. And here's where things start to fall apart for many people. They set up their lists, maybe even use smart lists, but after a few days, everything starts blending together again. Every task looks the same. There's no sense of what's urgent, what's due soon, or what truly deserves attention today. And that's because most people never add context to their tasks. They type a quick line like finish report, call client, buy groceries, and move on. But without a deadline or a clear priority, to-do can't help you organize or surface what matters most. And this is where the real power of to-do comes in. Adding due dates, reminders, and priorities, and then making use of smart lists. Now, when you create a task, click on it to open the detail pane on the right. Here, set a due date. You can either pick one from the calendar or choose from the quick options like today, tomorrow, or next week. If you want a notification, add a reminder for a specific time. And if it's something truly important, mark it with the star icon in the top right corner. So once you start doing this, filling out the details of your tasks, to-do begins to work with you instead of against you. Tasks with deadlines automatically appear in your planned smart list. Starred ones show up under important, and reminders help you stay on track throughout the day. So whenever you have more context, add it to your task in the beginning, and it will help you save time and effort going forward. Even when people get their tasks and priorities right, they often still miss one of To-Do's biggest strengths, its ability to connect across Microsoft 365. I see this all the time. Someone uses To-Do for their personal tasks, Outlook for emails, and Planner for team projects, but none of it talks to each other. The result is that tasks get scattered, duplicated, or forgotten. You're constantly switching apps, trying to remember where you noted what. And that's where integration and the real power of Microsoft 365 comes in. Microsoft To-Do isn't meant to work alone. It's designed to bring all your tasks together in one place. And here's how it works. When you flag an email in Outlook, it automatically appears in To-Do under flagged email. You don't need to manually copy anything over. From there, you can open the task, set a due date or reminder, and even add extra notes so you remember what to do with that email later, and finally move it to any of your other lists. Next, To-Do also connects directly with Microsoft Planner. If you're part of a team and tasks are assigned to you in Planner, they show up in To-Do automatically in your assigned to me list. They keep all their details like due dates, attachments, and links back to the plan, so you can track them right alongside your personal tasks in To-Do. And even if you're working from a meeting note or project page, you can easily create a linked Outlook task right inside OneNote. Just highlight the line or bullet, click the Outlook tasks icon in the ribbon, and choose a due date. That task is now part of To-Do, connected via Outlook, showing up with the same title and link back to your OneNote page. It's an easy way to turn meeting notes into actionable steps without losing context. And finally, with Microsoft Loop, any task component where you're assigned as the owner will also show up automatically in To-Do under Assigned to Me. So even if your team is collaborating in Loop pages, you'll still see your personal responsibilities right inside To-Do. This means you no longer need to check multiple tools to stay on top of everything. You can open Microsoft To-Do, glance at your smart lists, and instantly see both your personal and team responsibilities in one view. And it goes even further. No matter where you update or complete a task, your changes automatically sync across all connected tools, at least most of them. Now, if you're finding these to-do tips helpful, check out the link below to join my newsletter. You'll get weekly productivity insights plus free access to my 7-day mini masterclass on Outlook, OneNote, To-Do, Teams, Planner, and Loop. Now, this last mistake is also pretty common. It usually starts simple. You create a few lists, add some tasks, and everything feels organized. But over time, you keep tweaking things, you add more lists, more groups, more reminders until to-do feels cluttered again. And that's because many people try to build the perfect system from day one. And often they think that complex means better. But this mistake here is actually overcomplicating the setup. To-do works best when you start small and build gradually. It is a simple but still very effective task management app, but not a crazy project management tool. So begin with just a few essential lists, maybe one for work, one for personal, and one for projects. And then use them for a while and refine based on what actually helps you day to day. Don't start with a crazy number of lists and groups from day one, because the more complex and overwhelming it feels, the less you'll use it and the less you'll make progress on your tasks. Also remember, the smart lists like My Day, Important, and Planned already organize most of your tasks automatically. You don't need to create a list for everything. So I'd suggest to keep one simple rhythm. Review Planned in the morning and choose what matters most for my day, and clear it out at the end of the day. So if you found this helpful and want to take your to-do setup even further, check out this video where I walk you through a simple but surprisingly powerful workflow for setting up new tasks the right way in Microsoft To Do.